Okay, let's open up the March 19th sewer commissioners meeting. Elaine, I.
Bill Watson, aye.
Brian Donahoe.
Okay, so Violet, you're here to see us. What would you like to talk about?
Well, I sent each of you a letter.
It's in the packet,
Okay,
and there's also email from the water department as far as what they are doing.
okay. And what's the general? Okay. Okay, so you had a pipe that broke, but nothing went into the sewer. Is that it?
That's what how much the sewer amount was,
Yeah,
and you should have a memo in there from
the water department.
department.
Have we estimated what?
I got my bill written.
Okay. Do we know if we give her renovation, what the amount is?
The water department was going to do 3,000 gallons, but she had used. They were just going to charge her the 3,000.
Okay,
With her-
yeah,
At their lowest rate.
Yeah.
But what was it, what would her normal usage have been?
yeah, okay.
We usually do 4.
I wrote a letter too, so.
Okay, that's great.
And I can explain anything.
I think we are just looking now to see what type of adjustment we can give you.
Okay.
You've given us very good documentation. And
I
we've got,
did it legally. So.
Yeah. And the water department supplied us a letter as well.
Yeah.
So that puts all the pieces together. Now it's just a matter of how much can we adjust the bill for? Is that a safe
Yes,
statement?
yep. So what you've done, Lane, normally is taken the last 4 normal bills over the last 4 years,
Right,
averaged them out.
yes.
I see the 6,000 here, 7,000, 7,000, and 6,000.
So, well, 6 is 12 and 14,
14, 12.
6,500.
And this time, they said I used 41,000. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
My big thing, and I think it should be a suggestion. When they found out, evidently when they found out, then I received that letter that you have a copy of. Well, I didn't get that letter till 7 days later. And also sometimes when I see a bill, I just stick it in the slot in my
Yeah,
kitchen.
you got a
And
couple
don't
weeks to
even
pay it, so
open
you-
it, yeah, and don't even open it till it's once a month. So, that would have been a complete disaster.
okay, so 41,000 gallons, we all agree is not accurate. Okay, so like Bill said, we take the last 4 bills you got and we average it. So you use 6,500, okay, the past few quarters. So what we'll do is we'll subtract the 6,500 from the 41,000 and credit the and reduce the gallons by 34,500 gallons. So you'll be paying for 6,500 gallons, which turns out it's $10.40. 6,500 divided by 1,000 gallons is times $10.40. So your bill would be $67.60
Your-
for our part.
So I haven't paid this bill yet.
So they plus the $15 for our quarterly fee. So that would be $72.60.
So, as a check of that, what would your normal sewer bill be? It should be around $72.60.
Yeah.
Right?
That's basically what we're charging you, is what you would normally be paying.
Well, that's right. That's
exactly.
That's fair.
Yep.
Because it's fair.
Because again,
But is that right? It's $72 or $73 normal, your normal sewer bill?
Well, my normal sewer bill is probably the combination sewer and water it's probably 150, 100.
Yeah,
And
because
then
the water's the other half. They
Yeah,
they could just, they
Yeah,
could just,
just check it the other
they
way.
could just
Yeah, no,
punch
that-
right
yeah.
off the bat, no matter what.
right,
Sounds good to me.
okay.
As opposed to 647.
Okay, so what we can do is, would you want to pay, are you looking to pay that now, or?
Oh,
You don't, just because if you are, we can write on that bill. Or we can send you, get a letter for you, which would you prefer?
But that's actually
I
not
knew
due
that-
until a couple of weeks from now.
Okay, we can, do you want, how about we send you a letter?
I'll type it up tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll send it to Stacy, because she wanted to make the adjustment as one.
Okay,
okay, now what was the number you gave me just then?
it's for the user fees, the total is $72.60. And you can work with
I would have
Stacy.
brought my checkbook.
Oh, no, that's fine. We're not asking for it sooner than it's due.
Or, cause you don't take credit.
I don't.
And I don't have that kind of cash.
And it might be better that she attaches the letter with the bill,
Right.
right, when she sends it in. So you
Yeah.
might want to wait for the letter to come, attach the letter with it. So when it
Oh,
goes in,
yeah, believe me.
they'll have all the
Yeah.
documentation.
So I thought this was be a combination, water and sewer.
No, we're only charging you because your water use, I know the water department has to charge you the amount that you use, but they're giving you the lowest rate they possibly can. In our particular case, because the water didn't go into the sewer system, we're only charging you the average of what you've always used.
Yeah,
And just eliminating that because we didn't have to treat it. We never treated the water. They treat the water when they give it to you. But if we didn't receive it because it was going out into the ground, we didn't have to treat it. So we're just gonna charge you what you would normally pay for that water. That's how we've always done it.
Yeah. Someone want to make a motion so we can,
I'll make the motion to adjust the bill to $72.60, reflecting the leak in the water system.
I'll second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
okay, thank you so very much.
You're welcome. You did a very
You know,
good
tomorrow's
job.
my birthday and I'm gonna be 92, so this was.
So happy birthday. There you go. There's your birthday present.
There it is, a nice good one. All right, so I'm done.
Yes, you are done.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
But
Glad we
I'll
can
send that
help.
letter out tomorrow for you.
Okay.
Nice seeing you. Happy birthday.
Then we have another one with the spigot burst.
Yes.
Goes away on vacation. Where's he? That's his average. Was 96,000. Wow. 24 divided by 4.
We're on vacation.
Looks like his August bills are typically high this summer. So. Let's go by January's.
Well, I was under the assumption that you took the last 4 years.
Yeah, we do.
That section.
Yeah, 4 quarters, yeah.
That particular quarter.
Yeah.
Because in the summertime, if it happened in the middle of the winter time, you don't usually use that much water.
Right. And for that quarter, it's like 3,000. 2,000, 3,000, 5,000. And 5,000.
Do you have to get the email? That's what.
So the average of that is like 4,000. Per equivalent quarter. So 4,000, he was 96,000, so we'll adjust it by 91, 92,000 and 4,000, let me do the math. 4,000 divided by 1,000. times 1040 is $41.60 plus the 15 is $56.60
Yep, for the 15 only quarterly,
each quarter. Yes.
and one of the phone charges is $12 a month. Yeah.
The user fee, but then there's a service fee as well.
They should, yeah, just to have the service to your building, it's $12.
Huh?
Yeah, yeah, said that. $36 on your bill, and then whatever you use for water after that. Of course.
So that's a.
Oh, we could look at that.
Yes.
We want $15. I mean, a month instead of.
Well, one way or another, some rates are gonna have to go up.
Yeah.
So whether they end up on,
Right.
Or I'm just to have a basic hookup.
Yeah.
And I can see the water department's point of that. If you're not using water at all, at least they're charging you something that
Right.
the 6 months out of the year you're not living there. You still get, I mean, the power company does it too.
Yeah.
I mean, the gas company charges you $10.50 a month whether you use gas or not.
Right.
yeah, they still have to maintain that water line and.
That's exactly it. The infrastructure,
Yeah.
basically the infrastructure.
Charge, yeah.
So, someone want to make a motion for the 4,000 at 56.60?
I'll make a motion to adjust the bill according to your calculation at 46.50. Is that right?
56.60.
56.50, sorry.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We have pipes on the outside freeze, and you can't use it for water you want, at least to do something. They're sitting there,
Skate rink.
you know, I mean, yeah, it only froze for one day and it didn't.
Okay, and then we have a,
$3 billing error.
oh, okay,
It wasn't in their log, but the water had been shut off,
okay. So that's just a,
$15.
housekeeping. So make a motion to, remove the $15 service charge.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That's that. And the quarterly commitment,
So there was only one thing, and I think I put the memo in there.
yeah,
It's 2432, but when they keyed it into munis, it's 2433. They're not gonna change it. We just counted that and made a note that 2432 and 2433 are the same one commitment for the general ledger that was posted.
okay, so 2 quarters have the same commitment,
No, so they keyed the wrong number in and it was posted as 2432, but it should really be 24. It should be 2432, but it was posted 2433.
okay,
And there's a memo in there, the collector's office and county. And it's been-
so for 2432, there's nothing applied to 2432.
No, that is 24.
Got it, okay,
It's one of those systems that you can't go back and fix. That's, I'm used to this, you know. Once you push the button on the time sheet, but once you put you can't fix it. That's what it is.
Called progress.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that's more just informational. then.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good, 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 then.
I'm just looking at commitments.
Yeah. Let's do meeting minutes for 12/12 and 1/2 and 1/23. Everybody is. You can hold off if you,
Yeah, I didn't actually get a chance to look through that thing.
okay, we can push it to the next one.
Next meeting, definitely wanna, so we got back to January, right?
Yeah. You've been,
December, yeah.
Can I, can you send, email with the additional ones, so you have them?
Yeah, all in one email, it'll help, yeah.
And I did book the room today, next Thursday, the 28th at 9, row 200.
Is that for the?
Pre-con meeting, did you,
Yeah.
it probably came across as you were traveling down the
Oh,
road, but it was middle to late afternoon.
Yep, I was on my way to the water department.
I think they decided on 9 AM, right?
9 a.m.
In the big room.
What is that for?
The pre-construction meeting for the new leaching
Oh,
field.
okay, okay.
Good.
It's like somebody said 75 emails in an hour.
For the leaching field?
No, just for, it's not even on it, actually.
Oh, jeez.
So let's see it. All right, we'll write this down. So that's Thursday, this Thursday.
The
Uh,
28th.
next week. from-
28.
yeah.
Right, okay.
9. Well, Dave, looks like you're up.
Alrighty, just as far as an update on some items, trying to do something the water department sent along to me was trying to get on this co-op for some of our chemical bidding. So I'm gonna be going to a meeting next, the 27th. I wanna say it's a week from Wednesday. See if we can reduce our chemical costs. It's kind of a bidding process. You get on this list, send out what you're looking for the year, and then bid against it. So hoping it'll come with some sort of cost savings to us for chemicals.
How many
So
people are in the co-op?
there's multiple towns.
Okay.
Locally, Plymouth does it, Marshfield does it, Weymouth.
So you're piggybacking
Kingston
with
Water.
all those towns and get one order?
It's, no, your order is independent.
Okay.
But all these towns kind of got together in this co-op
Yeah.
to get this bidding process
So
going.
you buy in volume, but then when they deliver, they deliver it.
Yeah, you could say, have your whole year's worth of chemicals bid on.
Right.
And then you can specify how much you want delivered at a time over what sort of span. So we could say we want 2 totes of Magox delivered the first of the month.
Mhm.
And that's about what we use is 2 every month. So
And because it's a co-op, all the towns get the same price? Is,
I think each item is bid on independently.
okay.
So
Yeah,
most people use the
you'll figure
same
it out.
sort of chemicals.
Yes.
But the water department's been doing it for years.
No,
And Chris Baraka was saying they saved quite a bit.
good.
So we'll see what happens,
Yeah.
what comes of it. So something I'll look into. Hopefully, we could see something for
Yeah.
savings because that keeps climbing up. So I was on vacation last week. There was a property 35 rear East Ave had a leak outside of the pump chamber for the E1 pump. And we haven't really dove into it too deeply yet, but we had a similar property a couple years ago. It had a similar problem with it. In the past, we fixed the one property I was aware of that had a similar problem, but we should look at how we want to address this. It's between the pump chamber and the street. So where I haven't really wrestled with this before, I'm not sure how committed we are to fixing something on someone's property,
Right.
or if it's something,
They're the ones that paid to have the line put in originally, I mean, in their contract, put the line into the street pumps.
I would
So
assume
they're
that's-
responsible for that, It's like the water line on the property,
Yeah,
your homeowner's responsible for that.
if that's the approach we want to take.
I
you
would-
know,
So they'd have to
I'm thinking.
hire a drain layer, come fix it.
Agree with that.
Okay.
I'm just thinking, first of all, is there any, it's not part of the pump itself, it's a connection.
From what I was told, the discharge from the pump chamber comes up outside the pump chamber through the ground. So I imagine it's coming outside the
There's a
chamber.
busted pipe.
So it's a connection between the unit that's in the ground and the pump, the E1, and the connection. So it's a plumbing issue. And it would be a plumbing, yeah, I would agree, it's a plumbing fix. It's also a board health issue.
Yeah, well, right now the house is not occupied. I guess they don't live there in the wintertime.
But yeah,
Shut it
so-
off, maybe for some reason, it elevated pump warning light was going on. And the buzzer, so we went down there, neighbor had called up. And as soon as they turned the pump on, it came up under the ground. So could be groundwater leaking in there at this point. And then the pump tried to kick on, so they just shut everything off.
That's a different, so there may be more things going on there, because it shouldn't be groundwater going into that chamber either.
Yeah,
That's just that's an II problem. So, yeah, I would think this is a plumbing problem, a contractor problem.
A drain layer.
Drain layer, yeah, it's that problem. It's our only, I think, this is from the street line to the chimney and the pipe, that's ours. From the street line back, it's definitely, that's typical of everyone is. It's, you know, just the way they put it, like you said, that was the part that the contractor put in.
Yeah, and as far as the pump itself, we take care of the pump as you know, historical policy. If the E1 pump breaks, we just replace that.
We own.
We
that
charge
pump.
them though.
Yeah.
We charge them for a new pump, right?
No, we don't.
We're not charging, that's interesting. That was a decision that was made, and I was much.
Yeah,
going on for a while.
that's a historical.
That's where I was going, is if there's a warranty on the pump still, then that would enter into this, and so I would think. That's an expensive pump,
Oh, yeah,
they're like
every year they go up. It's 2,900,
Yeah,
I think.
I was gonna say, it was $750 20 years ago, so 2,900.
when I came on board, it was explained to me because SRF money paid for the pumps. That originally, that we were responsible for.
Well, then that's,
Forever?
yeah,
That's how it was explained to
Yeah.
me.
That doesn't make any sense. Well, not
yeah,
now.
I think that's something we gotta revisit then too, 'cause as soon as you said that kind of, I can see once. Under the warranty, and there was a bunch of issues with several of them failing upon the first month. You know, this is right in the beginning of my tenure, and I wasn't there. But there was like one or two, and they were replaced because of the warranty.
Okay,
That was a responsibility. And the warranty, I think, was a year on the pump. And no, a year on the electrical connections, the circuitry that was part of the motor, and the motor and pump itself was like 2 years. But then there was the owner. I mean, how many of these have actually failed? They're pretty good pump.
Yeah, some of them are actually original that
Yeah.
have been taken out recently, but you know, you get some other people that, you know, they were on their third one.
I'll be the pain then. I think that's something we should revisit. given-
okay.
I mean, it should be,
Yeah.
it really should be paid for by the homeowner.
Yes,
So
going forward.
replace
And,
those
you know,
pumps.
perhaps we can look at that once we do our rate.
Yeah.
So
Rate
that's
book.
what I'm saying. Put that in the pile, but I
That,
think.
you know, even
Yeah.
if there's a nominal fee for having a pump,
Yeah.
that we take care of it, but, you know,
I'm wondering if the nominal fee could be something like an insurance policy. If they pay, it's not a lot of money, but they pay into it. And then if they have a problem.
It's an
they have
interesting
like,
insurance.
idea.
like a maintenance program.
Yeah, that would be a great idea if we could do that.
Like
Yeah,
it's,
little
you know,
maintenance for
whatever,
the- Where everybody that has a pump.
Yeah.
Is paying a little bit into it.
$50 fee a year or
You
something.
know what I mean? And then when you go and you fix it, you got the money to
Kingston
fix
pump
it.
checks. I love it. That's a great idea.
It is.
We could look
That's
to
what
is
I
what
thought.
our historical expense per year is, and
Yeah.
break it down accordingly,
Talk
so
to
it
insurance,
offsets
yeah.
itself.
I wouldn't complain. If you charge me an extra $15 a quarter or something.
Yeah.
And it was an insurance policy on that pump, and I didn't have to touch it or call anybody to fix it.
Yeah.
But it depends on how much they use it. If you've already replaced 3 of them in one location, because they're using, but everybody else is paying for them.
Yeah.
All the rest
Yeah.
of the users.
It
That would
was-
be a different question.
Yeah.
3 pumps in there, and everyone else is just the same one. What are you doing? You
Yeah.
know, I can see the
What are you
rubber duckies
putting
going
down?
down.
And now you're responsible for that, basically.
Yeah, if there's any abuses historically, there's been a letter sent to them saying that, hey, you know, we're not gonna continue to service your pump if
Right.
you continue to use it.
And
And
it was-
usually that straightens things up.
And then we can see of the total pumps, how many have been replaced, like half of them already replaced, a third, we could do that project. That's another
Yeah,
project.
like you said,
Okay,
go back 15 years and just see what, they've got records, if they're good records.
What's fair is fair, but if I have to have a pump on my property, I should be responsible for that because, well, all my neighbors are all gravity fed.
Sure.
They're paying to be.
It's quite an expense. I just ordered, they picked up 2 today. Because after a while, the older ones would get to the point that they can't even fix them anymore, or they cost too much to fix it. It's
Yeah.
not worth it.
The core is no longer any good to rebuild.
But
Okay.
the idea of replacing the pump was one thing, but the contractor putting them in, I'm not sure we want to cover that because that's all over the place, right?
No, drain layer had,
Yeah.
because the drain layer put it in, if he screwed up when he did it, that's their problem, not our problem.
Yeah,
We
just saying,
shouldn't have to go back and fix it because they kind of the cheapest guy. to do it.
but I'm just saying that if a pump fails under this program we just talked about, it's still a drain layer goes in and does whatever connection. If it's a connection system, you're right, but if it's just a pump, I think, would that be you?
We do
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
All right,
we have.
that takes care of that.
Yeah,
As long as it's just the pump and the pump chamber, then it's simple.
Okay, good.
Let's see, what else? Still waiting on our air compressors to be serviced. They came in thinking it was one particular part broken and it turned out not to be. So we're still limping along as far as our air supply for our pumps, but we're getting by okay. I'm hoping to get some word from them within the next couple of days. And then the last item is a email you sent me of the PFAS study.
Yeah,
So, once we get through today's meeting, I was gonna bother Jeannie to get some data together, to finish that study, but I have to have that in by, I think, next Wednesday.
yeah, that was, who asked for that?
I think it's a mass
DEP?
DEP.
Yeah, sometimes I'll get emails from DEP, and this was for a survey they were asking everybody to do, and I just sent it to Dave to.
I think they're trying to get it. I think they're trying to get a handle on sludge volumes and some of the restrictions going forward and the difficulty getting rid of sludge. So I think this is kind of all wrapping up into.
And whether or not we have PFAS in it or not, because we don't have a particular source, but we talked about last time, it comes from everywhere, washing a rug with foam, with foam, you have a rug in your house, any rug, and you wash it with foam, it's got PFAS in it. It's all fire retardant stuff. You wash it, gets into the spot, you put it down the sewer, there you go. And like parts per trillion, that word to parts per trillion. So an ounce in one Olympic pool. So 1 ounce in an Olympic sized pool is 1 in a billion. So 1,000 of those, just to put this in perspective.
Yeah.
1,000 Olympic pools and 1 shot glass. That's a part per trillion. That's how small this is.
And it's that critical of a problem.
And it come in, yeah, and I can attest personally, my daughter got Graves' disease because of PFAS and brain feed water.
Really?
When she was 4. And she got into adrenal things and it was in thyroid cancer directly, I should. There's no absolute proof, but the back check, the public health stuff is very clear.
That's potent. Where are we on the punch list and everything for the expansion?
A lot hasn't happened as of recent. They've been waiting for some weather to break on a couple items that they have to put some epoxies in. I believe it's a week from Friday. They're changing out one of the VFDs for the effluent pumps. So those are 2 critical items. There's not much after that. A couple of thresholds they have to put in. So we're hopefully in the next month that should be buttoned up. I'm hoping.
Okay, because there should be SRF money left over that we had talked in the past about seeing if they would reallocate that to our current leaching, if we could reallocate it to the current leaching field project
Okay.
because unless there's other things at the plant that we can use it for. Because we're paying for it. I mean, they're not gonna reduce our debt because we have any money left over.
I apologize. I missed the last piece of that conversation. I was making a note, but you just go back to.
Yeah,
I missed.
the plan expansion, we should have some money left over from the SRF loan, which we've already locked into. So they're not gonna, we're gonna pay for that money.
You can use anything, yeah, okay, now I understand. Anything we have, we're gonna use it somewhere.
Right.
And I'll get into that with my piece a little bit, but the maintenance of the field.
Yes.
Was, I think I mentioned before, the answer back from SRF was, that's not eligible. Well, it is, but that was the answer they got back. So now that we got the formal issue, I'm gonna go around and get to the right answer to the right person. But it all comes back to any money we have that's already approved. We have really good uses for it.
Okay,
Maybe we ought to pick up another 20 extra grinder pumps and put them on the shelf.
Now, yeah, depending on what sort of flexibility, 'cause
Right.
that's gonna have to come out of something. Comes out of article money or the operating budget or something. It's a pretty significant number.
yeah,
The maintenance, that's on, it's something where we can talk about the details of it, but it's a lot of goodwill, and then when this thing with the water came up, so now it's even better way. I'll wait.
yeah, you all set, Dave?
Yes.
Okay. Segue to you, Brian.
So, so this is good. We have the meeting coming up on the 28th. The issues with the final CR and all that, I think are in the 99.9% stage. Check on that again. Over the weekend, looked like it was all done. The contract is signed officially, right? Keith and everybody, and you, okay.
Yep.
So, in the email I got back from Ben and Lauren and Tom and everybody was, they're on board, as soon as that's signed. And so and the surveyor is out there today or tomorrow, to do the actual limit of work survey, it was like today or tomorrow, next day. To lay out the actual limit of work, so that when and if the turtles start moving, and I've had Dr. Brian Madden, he says they're not moving quite enough yet, but this week's a little chilly. But after that, it gets warm. But so if we can get another week in advance, it's another week in advance. So even though the permit says April 1st, if they start moving March 25th, they can actually do the sweep. So the point here is, now that the contractor's on board, I'm going to be talking to Ben and Tom, and they're geared up to start putting the trench in. They don't need anything else. Right now, they can just put the trench in as long as they know where they're going. That's why the survey is critical. Lay out the limit of work,
Okay,
put the fence in, tow it in, so that when the Natural Heritage, our contractor, LEC from Plymouth comes, they'll just check to make sure it's in right. And I'm gonna be watching, I'll tell you. This is gonna be towed in right, it's gonna be just angled right. So then they can do their sweep as soon as the animals are documented somewhere. They'll go in there and do their 48 hours or whatever inside the fence now. They find any, they take them, they put them on the other side of the fence. And then, the gates in and everything's done. So once that's done, start cutting trees. Everything goes. It'll be, like we talked, it'll be rocket speed.
Wouldn't they start the pipeline from, or, we're down. the
Oh, yeah,
second road?
they'll do, that's not inside the zone of the.
No, but what I'm saying, when are they gonna work on it as they're doing the inside?
That's a contractor deal, but in my discussions with Tom particularly, it's really like two crews.
Right, exactly.
And so you have the piece from the connection here, that can be any time. They have to be going on August 1st. They gotta be running this thing. So sometime between today and I'll say July 15th.
They probably want to target it.
You'll have a contractor with the excavator doing the pipe on that section.
Yeah.
At the same time that they're doing major excavation and trucking out.
So it's not like it's the same company doing both.
No, but they'll have two different crews because it's two different.
So the tree clearing is different than.
Once the creek line, that's done, and then it's just 3 excavators, however many excavators they can get. piling it up, getting it out there, searching, looking at the soil. This is good, stockpile here. This is what the daily cover. This goes over here. It's, look at all those limbs. That is really critical, because I think I mentioned, the soil is not uniformly really good sand like it was at the other.
Do we have a
So-
clerk who works on this one?
No.
We don't need one? Or is it the engineers? That are gonna
The
be-
engineers are gonna be there, but I'm gonna be there. I'll be the clerk of the works at $30 a month. How's that? This is really big. This is my stuff. I love this stuff. I got my hat on the truck. I updated my hard hat to the air.
Oh, okay, good.
And I'll be a pain in the neck.
All right. so-
Couldn't ask for anything better than that.
No, not at all. Yes, I suppose, yeah, they'll start doing the street when they're all up there with the equipment and that section shouldn't take
I
long.
intended to go to Selectmen last Tuesday to come up there, but none of the stuff was coming together yet.
Yeah,
So I had nothing to say. And the next meeting is next week. We'll be almost started. So I'd like to just, present them with, here we are, and I'm gonna talk to Keith, but this makes sense. or
Can I
not.
ask what the final cost is so far? On the bid?
7.1, include,
6192
and then
And then-
when we
Yeah.
add CDM,
CDM.
yeah,
It's 576.
so that's 1, 2,
It's like 7 and 1. So,
7 or something, right? Yeah,
around 7.
71.
7.1, yeah. So around 7.1,
Yeah.
that's it, down from, that's all Brian.
Oh, yeah, I'm dropping $1 million off.
And that's after Brian hitting us for $30 a month.
Yeah, exactly. Wow,
That's
incredible.
exceptional. I mean, our numbers were double digits. That's what,
What do we ask for 13 million?
yeah, something like
It
that.
was-
Well,
This is what, this is called value engineering. And this is not I want to make this clear, this is not a criticism of CDM at all. They were inheriting a permit process that they didn't challenge, because that's what you do. The knucklehead here, I know the rules, and I said, no, we're not doing this. And we fortunately had a really good person with natural heritage who got up to the plate immediately. I couldn't have asked for a better person. So all the ducks lined up really nicely to our benefit. It's, a 25% reduction on a bid that was already half of what we got approved.
yeah,
So if anyone wants to say we're not doing that job, just tell them.
We have about three or 400,000 invested anyways. Originally, don't we?
Yeah.
Up to this point.
Yeah.
With the permitting, the engineering, the design.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, so, yeah, wow. Talk about putting everything, just going forward with it.
Exactly. I mean,
Well, you and Tom and Peter Cobb have laid this all out for the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
Thank you. for
Yeah.
that.
getting the abutting lot was key. But
All of it worked.
Brian's bringing us home.
All this worked out, yeah. It's good, it's all good. So the other thing, just so I don't forget, is the call we got this morning with the water department, Chris Baraka, the idea of they need a place for a water tank. This is all just happening on their end, their engineer. They were talking over the weekend, and somehow Matt Perella mentioned to Chris that, wow, we have this property up there that we're dealing with. So they got a call to Gene, who got to me, and then I met him, Chris, at 3:30. And looked at using some of our property right now for a tank, high pressure, high head tank. And it would fit perfectly on the air we're all gonna clear. So that's what the adjustment is later, but I do want to talk to Ben. Because if we can move the pipe that comes in off the street, if we can tweak it without any significant, there won't be any cost. And just moving it as much to the north as we can within the easement we have, not the easement, but the land we own. And still have access to it construction wise for both sides. Giving them the water line on the south side of against the Mary O'Donnell property.
Okay.
To a tank that might be built 3 or 4 or 5 years. from now. That's just so that engineering wise, we put the pipe here, and they gotta I don't want them to be too close to our place so that it becomes a problem. So it's greater separation.
If you feel.
Ours wasn't designed, we have this water line, so it came up today. So it's another value engineering thing. It's like,
Where would they put the tower? Up right next to the field?
it would be, yeah, so.
I'm just curious.
it'd be-
That's a great idea, because that's pretty good elevation.
Yeah,
Yes,
it is.
And I asked them to have her, the engineer, the woman who works with the water department. So this is the old man. So what we're now clearing.
Yep.
Stop pounds there, so the line will come in like this. There's a hole right here, which they would use, so they put the tank right here.
And the footprint for a tank is not that.
200 by 200.
Yeah, it's not a whole lot.
It's about-
Space.
It's about 25% bigger than one of our leaching field sections. So it's like 16 of them. So it's tiny.
No,
It's all up in the air. It's like a.
Oh, it'd be
and
great.
perfect reuse of the discharge.
Yeah.
It'd be great for me. I'm up on top of the hill, up in Frank
Yeah,
Street.
Yeah, well, that's what they're having problems
It'll
with.
boost our water pressure, especially in the
You
summertime.
don't want to live next to it. I mean,
It reduces it.
you have lots of pressure reducers in your house.
But that's
So-
good. It's all coming together
Yeah,
for both sides.
that's exciting.
Yeah.
Some municipal property. A couple of cell towers up on, a couple of cell towers on top of that.
So,
Generate some more money for the town.
All good news.
Yeah.
Town meeting articles, we're gonna be submitting two, we're still tweaking the numbers. So we'll be submitting one for the operating budget and the use of free cash, and then the second one for whatever FY 24 shortfall there may be, and that's where we're still trying to hone in on that number. They're due to the selectman's office Thursday, so if we have any hesitation about a number, we'll probably go higher, because we can always reduce the number on town meeting floor once it's, an more accurate number, but at least for the submittal, worst case, we'll go a little higher to cover us if we need to reduce it. So, that's all we've got for now. If anybody,
I just have the website updates. I'm putting together a pamphlet
okay,
that I'll be sending in a PDF so you guys can take a look at it and then just make some suggestions.
very good.
Oh, yeah, one other thing. We have to be aware of our texting and emailing and answering some of the emails and stuff like that through the meeting law violation. Just be careful if you're responding. So if I ask you a question, in an email, and you agree with me or don't agree with me, or whatever, that's kind of a conflict of open meeting law violations. It's the certain, I got a note from planning boards that please do not talk to each other about this subject. And that type of thing. So
Yep.
just to be aware of what you're answering.
So
You know,
all the discussions we have about, like, the leaching field with CDM and that copying people, that's legitimate?
Informational is fine.
information,
If
you're all
you- yeah,
information,
you can-
but I can't respond to what you say. And say,
We
oh,
kind of
I
have,
don't
we
agree
kind of
with
have a
that.
dialogue amongst
Yeah.
each other.
No, okay, I get
Okay.
that, but
Yeah.
I just, I'm thinking.
Yeah, because you do copy all of us on your pretty much your communication with CDM. That's perfectly fine because it's informational.
Right,
None of us are making
we're not making
decisions.
any decision.
Right,
Okay.
and we're not
that's the
taking
one,
votes or
yeah.
anything
Or,
like
or,
that.
or polling opinion.
Right.
So you gotta kind of be careful that sometimes.
That's why back in the day, I wanted to make this 5 members. For that point.
Anything else?
You Good,
Good,
I'm fine,
motion to adjourn?
second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.